Welcome back to Movie Recap. Today I will tell you about a sci-fi fantasy movie called Dr. Jekyll and Ms. Hyde. As usual, just leave a like on this video and hit that subscribe button as it really helps. Dr. Richard Jacques is a perfumer working at a major fragrance company. His projects have failed, and the chief executive, Mrs. Unterveld, is thinking of replacing him with a woman. After his great-grandfather dies, Richard attends the will reading. He receives nothing but notes from scientific experiments, and discovers that his ancestor was Dr. Henry Jekyll. He then decides to add more estrogen to a mixture that Jekyll was working on in the hope that it will prove less dangerous. Monitoring his vital stats after ingesting the formula, Richard gives up and attends a job interview. Although everything appears normal at first, Richard's voice begins to crack, his fingernails grow long, and the hairs on his arms recede into his skin. He then feels a strange sensation and watches in horror as his male part disappears. Then, his head hair grows long and he starts to develop breasts. Embarrassed, Richard flees back to the lab, where the final stages of the transformation into a woman take place. The new female alter ego names herself Helen Hyde, and introduces herself as Richard's new assistant. She rewrites his reports, is kind to his secretary, flirts with his superiors, Yves Dubois and Oliver Mintz, and rewards herself with a shopping spree. Later, Helen meets and befriends Richard's fiancée, Sarah, and convinces her to move out of his apartment, just so she can have it for herself. The next day, after several comments from colleagues, Richard realizes that Helen was real, but is unable to access any of her memories. Nonetheless, he feels invigorated and invites Sarah to his place for a romantic meal. Everything appears to be going well until he realizes he is transforming into Helen again, causing Sarah to flee in confusion. Helen becomes resentful at having to share a body. She disfigures one of Richard's colleagues, Pete, and steals his ideas. She even attempts to seduce Oliver. Just when they are about to share hormones, she starts changing back into Richard and hides in the bathroom and escapes via a nearby window. Due to her flirting with Oliver, Helen is named Richard's superior at work. To stop her, Richard handcuffs himself to the bed, only to be horrified as Sarah walks in and finds his closet to be full of lingerie. This leads Sarah to believe that he and Helen are having an affair. Helen then has a private meeting with Dubois and Mintz, presenting Indulge, the perfume she stole from Richard. It is during this meeting that she uses her feminine charms and her feet under the table, in order to persuade them of launching it. She then sleeps with Dubois shortly after he confronts her about her false resume. Helen then warns Richard via video of her intentions to take over completely. Richard realizes that he is actually starting to spend more time as Helen than himself. He tries to humiliate Helen in front of her superiors by stripping and writing obscenities all over his body, hoping that they will walk in after he turns into her. Helen manages to outsmart Richard by delaying the transformation, causing his plan to backfire and him to be fired. Sarah is finally convinced by seeing CCTV security footage from the initial transformation. Richard comes up with a formula that would effectively destroy the female part of himself, but he must consume it as Helen within a certain time frame. To avoid letting her escape, Richard handcuffs his hands and straps his feet to a bed. After he transforms, Sarah attempts to inject Helen with the formula, but fails, injecting only about 20% of it, causing random body parts to spontaneously transform between male and female. A fire breaks out in the apartment, and Helen manages to escape. At the launch of Indulge, the perfume she stole from Richard, Helen steals a guest's dress. As she mingles, the effects of the formula cause her to temporarily grow stubble. Her breasts also disappear and reappear. Sarah, who sneaked into the party, hides in a podium and waits until the promotion video starts before injecting the rest of the formula into Helen, who changes back into Richard for good. Relieved, he realizes it's over, but sees that he's now standing in a room full of colleagues wearing a dress. Richard makes a speech about how the only way he could understand a woman was to become one. He then is offered a promotion as well as a vacation, which he accepts. As he removes the undergarments, he comments, "Helen and her damn thongs," before heading out with Sarah. Thanks for watching. You can check out my other videos here.